Okay, back to where I was at. Okay, once again, if I missed a clip or anything, always remember to get our street law newspapers. We have several of them. We have several good newspapers with the good information, good raw, uncut information, just like I bring it to you through the videos. It's just on paper and it's more have an array of pictorial view of some of the topics and subjects we've been talking about. But now back to the plight on how we can acquire our own liberation and salvation in the black nation. That I mentioned the eviction of these all the establishments and purchasing our own councilmen, and city councilmen, and ANC commissioners, buying and having our own in the community. Also, having our own law enforcement, being able to have our own law enforcement and our own judicial system, where when we are in courts and we are facing any type of legal situations, where we'll be tried fairly and just according to the status of the laws the new laws that we have implemented and have abolished those old cracker ass laws, like the laws that the Clinton administration put in about because in case you motherfuckers didn't know, the Clintons incarcerated more black people in the history of this country during the Clinton administration, in which Hillary called black males predators and savages, and said that all of them should be annihilated. Look it up. Do your research while you so gun-ho about Hillary Clinton. Neither one is Trump or Clinton. Neither one of them is, whether you're getting a lethal injection or getting an electric chair, it's no different. Your ass is still going to be murdered. So really doesn't make any difference. And these crackers, these motherfuckers already know who the next 4 presidents are going to be. So when you see these Negroes, these house niggas running around talking about voting and all this bullshit, your vote does not count. The only thing the vote does is just to see, these crackers want to see who the favorite is. It doesn't count for anything. You knew that during the Bush election. Next is the media. We have 12,000 radios. There's 12,000 radio stations in the United States, and we only own 70. What is it? 5,000 newspapers, and only 2 black. I believe that's Final Call and the Afro American, which neither one of them, have anything to do with the uplifting of the black man in this country at this point. Now, when the Final Call was in its early stages, or even doing all the way up until the early 90s, that was the newspaper for the black man and woman. But now, where the Nation of Islam has embraced the LGBT community, and they have crackers in the Nation of Islam and shit like that, they're no different. It's just a highly structured NAACP that talks the same militant lingo with no substance. You gather all these millions of black men and families all together on the grounds of the monument and on the steps of the Capitol to do what? Pass a basket around, pass bags of money around, collecting all these millions of dollars. Nothing was done. No progress was made. And none of those marches and none of those movements and none of those gatherings down on the Monument Mall. No progress was made, period. Minister Farrakhan, he was able to, upgrade his wardrobe, and the people around him were able to live more comfortably. His children and others in his circle. that are down with that corruption, which was one of the reasons Malcolm was murdered. You know, on the fact that he was about to do some serious house cleaning in the nation. You know, it just wasn't about Elijah Muhammad just fathering children with teenage women, because Malcolm was just green to the fact of the history of our people and how the kings had several wives, you know, but Malcolm wasn't educated in that area, so you know he was kind of heartbroken. And then looking at young girls, you know, he looked at them as though they were, if that was his daughter. So, but he was about to do some serious house cleaning in the nation. That's why he was eliminated. You know, and any brother that steps up that tries to make an attempt for black liberation and salvation by any means necessary, to the point of just using straight violence, you know, they're ostracized by the nation. You know, Mr. Farrakhan had the nerve to say Dr. Khaled and Malcolm were sexually abused and sexed up when they were little, which is some bullshit, you know, to make a justification for how strong they were, how outspoken they were, and how strong they were, and how feared they were by white America, which you didn't even stand by, Dr. Khaled, when, you know, Abraham Foxman and the ADL and all them other crackers and all them house niggas like Uncle Ben Chavis and all these other niggas, Alvin Pussant, and the rest of these house niggas went against Dr. Khaled and had him condemned on the floor of Congress, censored on the floor of Congress. The first black man in the history of this country that has ever been censored on the floor of Congress. But you didn't stick by him. You kicked Khaled out of the goddamn nation. You know, and which ultimately led to his demise, which he was murdered. And I hear Malik Zulu Shabazz and all them motherfuckers talking about, don't mention it, don't say that Khalid Muhammad was murdered and all this, he died of natural causes. That's bullshit. I personally stood with the man when he was in DC several times, and stood by Dr. Khalid. He was a physical specimen, brother. I stood by Steve Coakley and carried his suitcases, you know, with all his paperwork and stuff in it when he was doing lectures on foot. You know, when his son and daughter was, you know, when they were, you know, single digit years old. You know, and he didn't get his props either. But you know, you motherfucking niggas can pay Alex Jones and David Icke and all them other motherfucking crackers, you know, for their lectures and their motherfucking tapes and shit, but you couldn't give the most strongest and the most thoroughest researcher in the history of black America, Steve Coakley. You know, he passed away from here penniless, you know, on account and sacrificed himself providing that information for you ungrateful motherfucking niggas. You know, when I think about that, that shit makes my blood boil, because a lot of you motherfuckers are eating off of him now, using a lot of his work and a lot of his techniques and shit, you know, in your forms. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how powerful the brother was. But you never done nothing for the brother. You never lent a hand to him. All you did was eat off of him, like a lot of you motherfuckers eaten and have eaten off Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. You know, but when Sadie put you motherfuckers on blast, you know, y'all was ready to attack him, which didn't work, you know. But back to what I was saying, you know, as far as the media, you know, we have no newspapers, we have no television stations. BET isn't us. That shit belongs to Viacom, and Bob Johnson used us and sold us out. This old, you know, this old motherfucking bootlicking, pouring tea for the motherfucking massa ass motherfucking crunchy face ass nigga. He sold BET after the blood, sweat, and tears and time that the black community spent when it first was in its embryo stages with video soul, with with what's that faggot, cat-eyed faggot, Donnie Simpson, when he was hosting Video Soul, when she was hosting Video Soul back in the early '80s, up until the millennium, when you sold it to some motherfucking white so-called imposter Jew bitch, stupid ass nigga. The sports shit, instead of having, every Sunday you watching the NFL National Fuckboy League, every Sunday they should have an hour where they show all the HBCs and all the brothers and sisters that are graduating, that are receiving degrees or PhDs or whatever in sciences, in mathematics, in law, in the medical field, becoming surgeons, lawyers, doctors, that we never hear about. All we hear about is who ran 100, which slave, caught a 50-yard pass, with a brown ball, like Dr. Wilson say, with the white uprights, where you kick the white ball, the brown ball through the white and yellow uprights, which is symbolic to the white bitch's legs being gapped open, with the motherfucking brown ball going through it on green land. Who can run up and down the field and have control of the motherfucking land, of the turf. That's why they always like to have a motherfucking cracker for a quarterback to lead the team and have control over the goddamn turf and have control over the land. And when they do have a black quarterback, they do everything that they can to, to injure him or get rid of him, or when he make a mistake, trade him around like he's just some type of motherfucking prostitute. But once again, going back to that shit, I don't feel sorry for none of you motherfuckers that's out there. You're making 7 and 8 motherfucking figures. How much are you giving back to the hood? How many times do you even come to the hood? And then we know when the entertainment and the sports business is finished with you, because you try to come back here and play like you down for your people, but they just finished with your ass. That's the bottom line. But I'll get back to that in a minute. And the entertainment, you motherfucking men, you niggas that be putting on these dresses and all this bullshit, for a place and a stake in Hollywood, which you're not gonna ever be able to obtain a stake in the motherfucking Jew system. And they said, all men don't wear dresses, Denzel ain't wear one. Yeah, but he took a bullet in his ass in Training Day. See, the bullet going into the ass is symbolic of a penis or set of nuts going in your ass. And that's what he did. No, he didn't wear the dress, but he took a bullet in his ass by a motherfucking cracker in Training Day. Yeah, you might even say, oh, that was part of the script. Okay, but why was that necessary when he was getting executed by the Russians at the traffic light 2 or 3 minutes later? Why was that scene important for him to get shot in his motherfucking ass? And then when he offered the niggas in the hood to kill this motherfucking white cop, and they tell him he had to put his own work in? Come on, man. They'd have been fighting over that gun to see which one of them get to blow that cracker's blow tomato sauce out his motherfucking head. So, don't say that he didn't sell out, because he did. He wore he took that bullet in his motherfucking butt. And wearing these dresses and you niggas just kissing and all this bullshit, for a check, selling yourselves out, man. Angela Bassett said something that was real powerful when they tried to get her to play Halle Berry, when, that slut bitch, she'll do anything for $1. All she does is love slurping on white man's cum, nasty bitch. But Angela Bassett said that she refused that part. She said, one thing about film, it never goes anywhere. It's here forever. And what will her grandchildren, her great grandchildren, her great great grandchildren think of her if 40 years from now they watch that shit, a scene like that with their grandmother, getting savagely fucked by this motherfucking dusty ass motherfucking racist caveman hillbilly motherfucking Billy Bob Thornton, you know. So a lot of you sisters, you sell these brothers out. Just like with the child support shit. This is one thing you motherfucking hoes do. You know. You always talk, like you're conscious and you're on top of shit. But for real, you're going to get you calling them, putting the brother through the goddamn system, calling the cracker on the brother. But what's gonna happen when your son grows up, and the sister he fucks with does him like that, then you'll want to change some shit there, But it's okay when you do somebody else's motherfucking son, Stop always going to the motherfucking devil for help. And that's and I understand you motherfuckers that's not taking care of your children. You niggas ain't nothing but some pure shit. It should be penalties, but let the community impose the penalties on you dead beat motherfucking niggas. And religion, that's another thing we gotta get rid of. All these different motherfucking religions. I can break this shit down to you, but you ain't ready for what I gotta tell you about this shit. How none of that shit, none of these motherfuckers that you believe in and pray to and all that, the motherfuckers never existed. And if you don't believe me, show me some artifacts where any of them people, all these thousands of motherfucking people in the Bible and the Quran and all these other motherfuckers, the Torah and all these other motherfucking so-called religious doctrines existed. You don't have no motherfucking traces of them ever being on this motherfucking planet. But you got existence from everything else that you don't believe in that's yours, like the pyramids, like all the Egyptian gods and goddesses. You have remnants and artifacts that these people existed all over the globe. But the people that you yell and pray to and all this shit that you say supposed to come back next year and all this bullshit, and then don't worry about nothing, just suffer and die, and then when you pass away, you're gonna be walking on gold bricks in the sky. That's no different than believing in the motherfucking fairy tale, Santa Claus. Once again, it's that spookism, and that's why during the Nicene Council in 325 AD, Constantine and Pope Gregory and all them motherfuckers got together and they re-edited these motherfucking doctrines and formatted it so once you read it, it would make you put you in the fear box, where if you do this or buck back or try to break loose or from the grips of this motherfucking cracker, that you gonna go to hell and all this old bullshit, the 10 motherfucking commandments, and which is derivative from the 42 negative confessions from Ma'at, and you take it and you call Kemetic and Kemetic history paganism and all this bullshit. But you believe in a motherfucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed, buttermilk complected cracker motherfucking Christ. And then now a lot of y'all say, oh, it don't make no difference what color these. Well, if it didn't, why they keep painting it opposite of what he was supposed to have been, according to these motherfucking doctrines. So to them it makes a difference. And you don't see no spiritual motherfucking crackers. None. You see religious crackers, but you don't see no spiritual crackers on account of the pineal gland that's calcified. Won't allow them to connect with the motherfucking universe, which is the sun. Which all that shit was based on, was written on according to the horoscopes, in the solar system, and the way the planets were aligned. That's where the Son, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and all that bullshit. You took the woman out off the ankh. You took the woman off, which is the womb, and you put a little boy's penis here. That's why you motherfuckers have no problem sodomizing the Catholic Church. And it's written, you motherfuckers made that shit law. If you look in the book of Leviticus, it gives them, these priests, permission to fuck these motherfucking children. But they took the womb, these faggot ass Romans, they took the motherfucking womb, replace it with a little boy's penis. But the ankh meant life. That's the womb meant man, woman, a man, woman, and the offspring, children, which means life. These motherfucking crackers took the woman out because you're homosexual, and you replaced it with a little boy's penis. So then you made up of some Holy Ghost shit, some non-existent shit. You know what I'm saying? And our people still believe in this motherfucking these fairy tales, and that's what got us fucked up. You got motherfucking sisters that put these imaginary people before their own husbands, and their own brothers and sisters and their own husbands that they sleep with and see every motherfucking day. You give a motherfucking non-existent cracker or image of a motherfucking cracker more respect than you give your husband. Because your mind, you're infected with white supremacy. That's just part of white supremacy, that you have an infection. And nobody don't want to admit, no, I don't have no infection. Your motherfucking brain is infected with white supremacy. We all have remnants of white supremacy. Even you so-called conscious motherfuckers, you have traces of it too. If not, because some of you brothers and sisters that claim to be conscious, you have more white supremacy in you than the motherfucker that sleep. And a lot of y'all use that shit to captivate these queens' minds and they lay them down and bed them and fuck them because they thinking that they done ran into somebody that they never heard speak like that before, speak on a high frequency level and functioning, where it appears that you're functioning on your chakras, your heart chakras or whatever, and it fascinates these motherfucking sisters, but you use that as a tool to fuck them and leave them, and then you'll come up with some old shit, make up some old shit, and use Kemet as justification for you to, be a motherfucking slut ass nigga, trick motherfucking nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be true to this shit. And I only fuck with people that's true. A lot of people be talking about, the profanity and all this. Man, if you a black man, you grew up around this shit. So how can somebody's language fuck with you?